When I took my first speech class, it was an actress in my class who taught me how to overcome nervousness. She said, don't think of yourself as a speaker giving a speech. Think of yourself as an actor delivering his lines. What this does is to allow you to step outside of yourself and to be someone else, what actors must do. And when you're someone else, you're no longer nervous, since it's no longer you. So the first thing to do is to think of yourself as an actor. Now, as an actor, how you are perceived by your listeners is important. Think about what items you notice when you see an actor on the stage. Actors are dressed appropriately for the character that they're playing. They convey the appropriate emotion for the lines they're delivering. That is, if the topic is serious, they're solemn. If the topic is lighthearted, you can expect to see them smile, maybe even laugh. And when actors speak, they take charge of the moment. The key to an effective presentation is to look confident, pleasant, and enthusiastic. And to effectively connect with your listeners, you must come across as relaxed, poised, and in charge, never arrogant, egotistical, or overbearing. Think of a teacher that you've had that students really liked. Now, what were his or her qualities that stood out? That teacher seemed to connect with you or with students because of her or his warm, engaging personality. But not only that, he or she talked about things that were interesting, maybe even fascinating, new ideas or new ways of looking at ideas. Now, I know a couple of problems that I had when I began my career as a large group lecturer, and it took some time to solve them. First, I tended to speak too quickly. Oh, I had the excuses. I wanted to cover a great deal of information, or I used slides to help students take notes on what I was saying. But you know what? People are far more likely to connect with you if you speak at a conversational rate that is both natural and comfortable for you and for your listeners. The second problem I had was I appeared arrogant. Now, one of the problems with arrogance is that speakers who are poised, educated, and convinced about what they're saying often come across as kind of haughty, conceited, and full of themselves. It's difficult to shake this connection. Now, I always thought that arrogance was a problem that listeners had to overcome. It wasn't my problem. But anything that turns listeners off is a problem. Now, how do you appear average when you're not? One way to do it is through the use of humor, especially if the humor is directed at yourself. Another way to do it is through the use of language that is colloquial, meaning simple, ordinary, and familiar. A third way to avoid arrogance is to establish rapport with your audience. The more they feel that you are either one of them or connect with their beliefs, interests, and values, the less arrogant you're going to come across. Education, intelligence, sophisticated vocabulary, and a high level of knowledge about your ideas often convey arrogance. Now, because you are an actor delivering the speech, feel free to demonstrate not just emotion, but drama. Now, you don't have to overdo it, of course, but if you come across as dramatic, that is, striking and impressive, and if your ideas are startling, rousing, or impassioned, not the least bit boring, there's a very good chance that you will be considered exceptional, noteworthy, maybe even phenomenal. Find out more about effective public speaking at the website publicspeakingrules.com.